Good afternoon. Welcome to tonight's market update, Simpler Futures, and today is Monday, April the 4th. So the last time we were together was on Wednesday of last week, and we were preparing for this end of quarter selling where we discussed even earlier in the week that we kind of see bearish equities, bullish treasuries during last week, but then remember that historically that'll flip to bullish equities, bearish treasuries this week. And we had target idea of around 40 down here for the break, and if you remember, you'll probably remember for next month and also quarter, that happens a lot of times where it starts right there at about 1 o'clock is where that starts, and it broke on that last day of quarter. And so and what's interesting too about this is it started the week down here 45.30 or so, traded all the way up into 46.30, and then all the way back down at the end of the week, back down to 45.30 again. That was on Thursday. Then on Friday, the blue profile here on Friday continued to break a little bit further, found about 4,500 and a couple of points or something down there. Found its way out of the hole first trading day of the month, but we're really looking for this bullish to kind of start this week, where historically you look at like first 3 to 5 days of the month as being the bullish turn. It's kind of new money markup for the start the quarter off. So with that, here's what we know. We know that last week's balance ended up being 45.35, and we come in this morning and we start right there. We start with an interesting profile today, though. Look at the way this traded today. It started in the 35s, right on last week's point of control, and started and first marked its way up to about 55. Obviously stalled there for a while, got a rather elongated little portion of the profile there, then advanced again into 62, then advanced again into 65, advanced one more time into 71, and then finally end of day into 77. And that ends up, that's an odd shape, that's an odd profile. There's nothing wrong with it, it's just odd. It's like a discovery type of, there was no real balance in there. It's just it worked and rested, then worked, rested again, rested, in search of some type of fairness or balance throughout the day. So if we're looking for a bullish first few days of the quarter here, then I want to prepare for a retracement support and target. And then, we'd have to also be prepared for, well, what if, we're wrong and it really breaks down, but. So today, this area right here, the first leg up and then rest right there at right 55, I guess. I'm going to look for that to be, and that was also like the ending session mid also right there, right around 55. So tomorrow I'd want to allow this thing, if it does, right, it could come back and find either 61 or 55. I'd kind of point to, I think I'd probably point to 55 support to hold this thing. That'd be the over-under, to hold this thing and have it continue then, Tuesday and Wednesday. That'd be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of this week into higher. And for that, I'll point to, for tomorrow, I'm going to point to bullish target up here at 45.97. Now, if it happens to get through there, then the next target above that would be 46.08, the Q1 pivot. But I point to 45.97, honestly. Like I said, T2 you could put up here at like 46.08, but now I also honestly have to be ready for this thing to, it's bullish this week, right? But bullish can spend some time in this area right there, because you notice how much participation you get up here at these prices, like this 45, kind of 80 and 90 area, and then how much participation, that bearish target that we had for last week, how much participation it gets down here at the 35 and 40 area, which is why we had that target for the break on Thursday. But look at how little it gets in the middle of all of those prices. So I have to be prepared for this to also be somewhat bullish this week, but not really get much done. And that would look like a trade up to, close to 97, that bullish target, that just fails and comes right back into the 55. Can bid from there back up into the 70s, break for 40, and bid back up into the middle. And just basically what I'm describing is some up and down sideways trade that just spends some time in here filling out this part of the profile. That by comparison to that which is above and below, this is kind of anemic in the middle. Everything between 40 and 80, 45, 40, and 80 needs some time to digest and trade, just trade out, like trade up and then down and up and down and back, and just basically fill in this void in the middle. So don't be surprised if we see some of that kind of trade. Bullish would have it up into those bullish targets that I just mentioned. Bullish is also a break in the overnight and or tomorrow morning back to 55 that finds a bid and trades up to those bullish targets. But the second scenario that I'm also going to be on the lookout for is not that easy. It's not just an easy pullback to support and advance for target. It's more pull back into here and then up and then back down and up, and just basically fill in everything between 40 and 80 and spend some time doing it, right? Because whether that's tomorrow or it's in the coming days, either way it seems that makes sense. See, it's the nature of the way it advanced through these prices, and it was so fast because it was back here on last Monday. It just traded straight through, and then Tuesday was gap, so there was no trade in there. And then Wednesday and half of Thursday were up here until Thursday end of quarter 1 o'clock break that broke it swiftly back through. So it traded up very quickly on Monday, traded up very quickly, spent Tuesday and Wednesday up top, and then Wednesday traded back down very quickly, which leaves so little work that was done in the middle there. It makes sense that we spend some time. Trades a little higher, rejects, comes back down, bounces, back up, rejects, back down, bounces, and fills in this pocket. So that's scenario like chop. That's like that's the choppy version. And that could very well be what ends up playing out. So let's be ready for either of those, right? The easier trade is one that just pulls back into about 55, holds, and trades up to bull targets. It probably honestly makes sense that it gets up there and rejects and comes back in, but I don't want to overthink it for right now. We're just going to go with one is a bullish advance, and two is just chop, back and through and up and down and in this zone until it fills out that void right there. All right. So that's it for Monday. Good trade. Nice evening. Be with you again here soon. See you on, I think, Wednesday night for the midweek update.
Without simpler trading, I could not have financial independence. This is one of the best investments that I ever made in my life.
It's helping me find consistency.
It's one of the things that won me